Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening to our lecturer, Sir Azrin, and to my fellow friends. Today we're gonna present to you about our topic, which is a study on the living cost of estate management student in Shah. So our group member is Mohamad Aiman Haziq bin Mohamad Rosil, Mohamad Danish bin Ariff, Mohamad Nurhakim Izzat bin Abdul Hisham, me as myself, Mohamad Irzuan bin Mohamad Sani, and also Mohamad Faiz bin Mohamad Rozi. So hope you enjoy our presentation.
Right, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Faiz bin Mohammad Rozi. So for the introduction, first, the cost of living is the minimum budget needed to sustain a given standard of living. Living standard may change if home economy item go from need to fundamental requirement. Living costs greatly affected household income. The rising expense of living affect everyone, even college student. Thus, we are inspired to research the financial hardship the student face in school. So next, most university students are first timers. They must manage their finance without their parents' help as children. Without supervision, they will face financial problem. Young people's spending attitude is crucial to their financial prudence. Adult students' saving behavior must be monitored because they tend to spend money on want rather than need. Students will go bankrupt in college or university due to encourage and lack of awareness if they don't spend wisely. To avoid their money going downhill, they must determine their needs and endure their want. Instead of wasting money on unnecessary items, they should save it for financial security, freedom, and emergency protection. So we move to another presenter. Thank you.
Is Mohamad Danish bin Ariff, and now I will explain about the problem statement. Okay, so nowadays we know that the students from one of Malaysia's public institutions, researchers and educators are concerned about the country's low savings rate. So due to a lack of financial knowledge, university students are unlikely to save when they receive a student loan, such as PTPTN, MARA, and also from other students loan source. So the students who scored higher pointer or higher on the basic financial knowledge test are more likely to save well, while those who haven't saved since childhood are likely to struggle, because we know that nowadays all all items are pricey right now. So we go to the next, which is the problem statement. Saving behavior can also promote long-term economic growth, which benefits not only students but also humanity habits. So in case that we know that the humanity which that can give benefits not only to the students but to all of us, to the family and also to the community in our country. So it consists of habits, wealth, consumption preferences, and real interest rates are important. Lack of financial awareness has caused that problems, especially among young Malaysians. So they squander on whim and buy needless stuff, a practice called purchasing impulse, and also to maintain a luxury lifestyle to meet their needs. this is not that we call to um, make a saving while we continue or further our studies in university. That is a bad situation or bad behavior for us. And then students must spend money on food every day, every single day, but also on books and other needs. So living and book may cost and affect ours, which is students, that financial ability, stability. So the last part of the problem statement is this study aim to identify the money sources and amount of students allowance received, as well as compare how they spend the money on necessities and wishes. And we will also discuss money saving techniques to help students manage their finances. So we go through to the next part, which is the objective of the study. Okay, so this main objective of the study is to investigate the living cost of our course, which is AP225 students in UiTM SHAH. So the specific objective of this study are to focus on to determine the source and amount of study allowance earned by the students, such as each people that the family gets average income, yearly income around around only below than 50,000 ringgit, so they will get more more student loan on such as PT and they will get for one sem, each sem they will get around 2,000 and above. So that is a benefit to that students. And also the second part is to examine the current cost which is incurred by students, which is to examine the current cost by a student, that nowadays we also we each people must examine and identify where the cash flow that they use before. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you, and I will pass to our presenter.
Auzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, for the significance of the study is, okay, before that I would like to intro myself first. Okay, my name is Mohamad Haziq bin Mohamad Rosil. My meeting number is 2021148359 and I from group 3. Okay, for the significance of the study is the study finding will help future student. Higher education cost more money, so budgeting is key to good financial skill. For example, diploma student and degree student are different. Why I say different? Because the diploma student, their fees is so cheap, and for the degree student, their fees so not so expensive, but it's a little bit expensive. And for the master and PhD student, their fee is so expensive. Okay, the study can help students understand how important good financial planning is for setting financial goal and controlling personal finances. After deciding what to spend, they can act accordingly. Okay, for the scope and limitation for this study is, this study focus on AP225 student living cost and include 50 UiTM SHAH Alam respondent. We found flaw in the study scope and communication. During our research, Each student living cost affect the student acceptance level questionnaire result. It's hard to tell if a questionnaire response was accurate or just answer. The study result may not apply to all UiTM Shah Alam students. Due to the global epidemic, communication with respondents has been limited. We've been able to reach them through a Google form, and some have declined to reveal their head in this survey. We may not be able to address all student concerns in this study. The time available for this study is only 14 weeks, and the duration for respondents to complete the questionnaire may not be approved because the study wasn't conducted during the start of university. Okay.
Okay, for the previous study, the globe faces the dilemma of rising cost of living as it attempts to construct a developed country that promises a high pay for a job. The problem of rising cost of living today is not a new thing that we should take lightly, but that has been dragging on for a long time. During the recession, the cost of living is rising tremendously. Differences in living standard, on the other hand, limit the option and space available to people who are financially unable to attend higher education. The level of living in Malaysia is divided into three groups: B40, M40, and T20. Many students are additionally burdened by other requirements of living due to the current unpredictable costs. Advise students to make the best estimate and decision possible before taking out an education loan. For the methodology of our task, Estate Management AP225 student will receive 50 Google Form questionnaire in 3 days. This method was used to determine AP225 student living costs at UiTM Shah Alam. 10 questions will be asked about how they control personal expenses and any problems. The questionnaire will be distributed during peak hours, then tabulated and analyzed using frequency counts to determine percentage.
In this part, I will explain the questions that are found on our questionnaire form. Our questionnaire will be distributed via a Google form, and the link to our questionnaire will be shared with Estate Management's AP225 students at UiTM Shah Alam. There are two components to this questionnaire, and they are referred to as Part A and Part B respectively. Student or respondent will answer questions in Part A that are connected to their profiles and background. This section primarily emphasis will be on demographic data. Consider factors such as age, academic year, and gender. In Part B, the topic that will be highlighted is the expense of living for students. The question for Part B will focus mostly on the amount of money that students spend over a month. We will inquire about their typical monthly expenditure, including those for meals, accommodation, personal items, including clothing and laundry, transportation, telecommunications, including mobile phone bills and utilities, personal expenditure, and last but not least, entertainment. Aside from that, we will also ask about the income of their parents, the sources of sponsorship, if any, the sources of income of students during their academic year, their average monthly gross expenses during academic year, And last but not least, we will inquire about any student financial assistance, if any. And the purpose of every range answer that we have supplied is to make it simpler for students to respond to the question, as well as to make it even easier for us to collect information and data.